Right then. Hopefully Andy's going to be back in a second. I don't know who's in here yet. Let's just see who. Oh, come on. Right, then that's working. Okay, Stacey, hello everybody. Let me pin that link at the top. Hi Willard. Everybody let me get back into this. Stop cycle. Right, hopefully Andy can get on with his Starlink. That's from no, that's not. Skyforce or whatever. It's Skynet from Terminator. Oh, I didn't know that Robert. He cancelled. I thought, doesn't he have it the same time as Brian though? I thought. I know that. Hi Paul. Hi Don. I've got a little video to play in a second. There's Andy. Right then, Andy. Are you working? Is it working better now?
Well, I think I still got lag. Oh my man in the house.
I found some videos, some live streams Jeff had been on with other people. I got it in here, one of them. Let's see if I got it. The video.
You're talking about the guys that live in Australia that they all think they're living in Thailand.
Oh, yeah, okay. That lot, and so I've posted some up from there back from 2021, but I've got this as well. This might get me a copyright strike, but.
And I've actually come across one of my subscribers who is a transgender.
You did what, Jeff?
Come across one of my subscribers.
And what did he do then, Jeff?
Sticking his dick in my ass. Yeah,
fair enough. Yeah.
I hope people heard
I heard
that.
the part where he says he's having a dick stuck in his ass.
I might have to.
No.
Oh, let me go back to the comments.
Doc says he tried to take over Philly and Phil this morning. Yeah, Doc, I didn't go to Phil. I didn't go to Philly and Phil. He got booted out.
So who was that then, Doc? Was that Jeff?
Oh, Jeff went into Philly and Phil. Yeah, I think that's his channel name. Not sure. I've been there a few times, but
Philly in the. I'm not sure whether I've heard that.
I didn't realise. Philly in the field. His name is Brian, I believe. He lives up in Subic. Or near Subic, anyway. The doc says he called him out on the 13-year-old.
He is.
Oh, and Van got in as well. Van got in. Oh, he whipped his ass. Oh, my goodness. Anglers, yeah. That's where he lives. Yeah, Philly in the field lives in Anglia City. Yeah.
So was Jeff on it?
I think I'm still having. I think I'm still having lag problems on this.
Oh yeah.
Am I still coming across clear?
I can hear you quite well. Oh, he's cracking on about his parents are in the Air Force.
So, Doc, are you in Okinawa?
Oh, see, I missed this. I because I could have probably got in there. That
Have
would
you
be
seen
so
that
funny.
from Dan P?
Yeah. Trouble is, I've not really watched that Phil guy. I think I might have seen one or two videos. Does he do stuff around Subrick? I'm sure I've seen somebody walking around like the old
I
naval
watched
base.
him. There was once upon a time, like he does these walking up and down walking street of English City. You know where you've heard of that other fellow like Overstay Road?
Well, I thought it. Well, the guy I saw was going around like what would have been the old naval base. The bit I saw, but that might not have been him. That might have been
Say that
somebody
again,
else.
Bill.
I saw someone in Subic. They were going around like the old naval base, or what would have been the barracks.
Yeah. Brian Philly in the field would have done that one, along with another few that do the what was it? The budget in the Philippines kind of videos.
Oh, okay.
They live for
yeah, because he hasn't got nothing else to do. Because he's done another video on Brian's channel failing. But Brian's channel hasn't failed. It's gone private and these idiots are paying to watch it.
No.
It's the best thing ever. Even if they've only done it for 1 month, they still paid Brian to... Oh dear, Jeff. Jeff, and you're more than welcome to come in this one. I heard you got booted from one last night.
My connection is not so good here.
Dan, I think it was Clark. He must
probably haven't properly set up.
That rings a bell.
I'm having one of those casino in the dark kind of broadcasts here. Robert says aircraft cleaner and shower lady. Not sure in what order. Paul. Yeah, Philly
Careful.
Toys.
Oh, I can't see. Yeah. That's
Billy
where
Toys,
Robert's going with that.
the naval base. Ex-Navy people.
Oh, okay, yeah. So we're getting up. There's an ex near me. There's an ex American Air Force base that's no longer going.
Yeah, I really don't know. I know the Americans are moving back. They're
Yeah.
taking up defensive positions. I don't know, but like base-wise, I don't know where they are. I think a couple of weeks Chinese came down and they were water cannoning some fishing boats. Trying to they were trying to what's the proper word for it? Dominance in that in their claim to the China Sea.
It is a
Yeah.
bit weird, isn't it, with China? I don't. You think if they could get their act together, they could be the next, because we've had first the English, then the Americans, and that they just don't. I don't know. It's communism though is their issue, I think.
But I do a lot of business with China, the people in China. You know.
Well, I did
see
some.
Griffins
I
come
did
in.
I did a job for a big corporation where they had loads of LEDs, using LEDs for all the signage, and I went to China to purchase, because it was quite a few LEDs, and we went to a factory there, and while we were there,
You're
there's
breaking
me
up there,
and
Fakani.
this other guy that was
Uh-huh.
coming with me, and while we were there,
This
the
connection
lady
I have
translator.
is.
Hi, Stacey.
Hey, Bill. Can y'all hear me okay?
That's
Yeah.
great.
Okay.
I can hear you now.
Okay. Andy, something I want to say. Is there anything, are you using a satellite for your internet?
I don't know if he heard then.
No.
Everything's breaking up here. It might be me. I've got a Starlink setup on my mountain house here.
So do you use a satellite dish for
I
that?
haven't properly.
Hi, Road Dog.
Yes. Yeah, when I'm back in, I'm in Kananga at the moment. I come up for over the weekends, yeah, so last week it was great, but today is.
Do you think it's
had a bit of
affected by the
wind,
weather? So,
had a lot of rain. At the moment it's still raining here.
so would you think that might affect it then if it's cloudy?
You better. No. I wouldn't think the clouds would have anything to do with it. It's obviously my positioning. But I can't understand it at the moment.
Just coming in. That in Jason. Daisy.
Okay, there we go.
No,
No, crap.
Bigfoot
No,
wouldn't
what I was
touch
wanting-
Jet.
Griffins. we've got a lot in common.
What, Bigfoot?
Myself and Doc.
No, what I was wanting to tell Andy, if you're using a satellite dish for your internet, check to make sure you ain't got no obstructions in your view.
You back
Okay.
with us, Stacy?
Yeah, I can hear you, Andy. No, Andy, if you're using a satellite dish for your internet, check your make sure there's no obstructions like trees or anything, because if it's cloudy there, it will slow down your internet a little bit, I think.
I appreciate what you're saying there, Stacy, but I got open sky here.
Okay.
You know, there's no trees, there's nothing blocking me.
Okay. Well, because
I
the
just
reason why
need to
I
be
say
able to
that.
tune this thing in so I can take it on the road with me.
Oh, okay.
You know, put it on the top of my car and be able to get a connection.
Okay. Well, the reason why I say that, Andy, like here, for example, we use satellite for internet, for TV. And if you got any obstructions like a cloudy sky, trees, or anything, it will kind of mess up the signal a little bit. So I was just throwing that out there a little bit. You been to the street, cheers.
Okay. Say again?
I heard something in the background there, like a chainsaw or something.
No, that was I got carpal tunnel syndrome, and that was like my massager just freeing my hand.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay.
What?
I got like a sports massager. I know.
Yeah, it's not a dildo, is it? No.
No, that's Jeff's toy. But yeah, I put a video of that one from back 2021 where he's saying when he first shut his channel down.
Oh, yeah, and I mean not Andy, but Bill. Did you watch Jeff's last video where he said where they paid to watch Brian that then unsubscribed? Then right there at the very end, let me see, how did he say this? I could be wrong. That he will watch again next time or let us know. So that tells you right there, Jeff is paying.
Yeah, of course they are.
Yeah.
They can't not. It just shows you what dimwits they are.
Yeah.
And remember, they've been saying for months that they've killed Brian's channel. So why are they paying to watch it?
Yeah. Yeah. See, so actually, Brian is winning. He might not get the views, but at least they're paying to watch and trolling.
Well, I was thinking about this today. That the core people that are probably watching Brian and paid for it are the ones that probably have sent him money before.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, most of the other people that watch Brian or maybe like Brian have not ever sent him anything anyway. So he's still
Yeah.
got there people that would probably donate to him if that's what they're doing.
So yeah. So either way, he's still getting money. I mean, I don't
Can
know.
I just answer Robert? Yeah, Robert, I'm all right for about an hour when I'm doing sign writing. It's any job that sort of goes on. If I'm doing something for over an hour, then it starts to. I really get the pains in my upper arm and that, and across my wrist. But most of the time, it's all right. I just have to do things in stages now, rather than do a whole trying to finish something all in one go. But apart from that, that's right. It's just you know, and I meant to wear like a support at night, which sometimes I wear it, but sometimes it just makes me feel uncomfortable anyway and can't sleep with it.
There's an interesting fellow in the comments.
Which one?
Top Man. The Kiwi Top Man.
Oh yeah.
He seems to have a sexual interest.
I think he's oh yeah, I've seen he's
Would
got
that be
a
man?
No, I think he's
Griffin says, hello, Filipino lawyer. And Griffin reckons I'm fiddling around with my computer. Robert, what part of the land are you living in? Which island are you?
Robert, I was scheduled for an operation for my wrist, but then COVID came and it got put off, and I haven't had it rescheduled yet. I did have steroids in before. That worked for a while, but I think I just need the op. But like I said, I can normally work around it. I've not Road Dog. I'll have to look that up.
Last night, has anybody been watching Export Trash in the Film?
Dog, I don't guess I've seen them videos.
I haven't seen that yet. Trouble is, depending
never
on
even
what they
come across
are,
it.
if they're just bashing Brian or whoever, I don't tend to watch them because it's all the same stuff. That guy, just the jealous guy, he's just awful.
Yeah, he's just another nut.
And it's just him talking, you know, going over stuff that had been gone over. And the foreign farmer exposed, he just plays Brian's videos.
So, this Gary Allen, has he been thrown out of the club, or is he working somewhere else?
Well, that's the thing,
isn't
it? He came back and then suddenly he's gone again. But I think the deal was, I think the expat, part of them giving him the money is for Jeff to kick him to the road. And then Gary went and got on with
part of that website. Yeah, the expat part of that forum, or the expat forum, they've they've shunned Bimbo 359.
Yes,
They've
because
kicked him out.
They reckoned he attacked village people, but he didn't attack her. He just said what Jeff was saying about Brian and charities. Jeff was raising money for her, which is exactly what he accused Brian of, raising money for charities.
Okay, yeah. Is Doc in the house still?
Oh,
Normally
yeah, is
he
he
likes
still
to-
in the house, or did he leave us? I know he got quiet there.
He was in
Like
at
I
the
say,
beginning.
Yeah. Stacey,
Was he in here
myself
or was
and
he in
Doc
on
have
yours?
we have something in common here. Oh, he's still there.
There he is.
Yeah.
Doc, did Jeff get a copyright strike or just tell him to take the videos down?
Always lurking.
He's
I've lost
banned.
you. My audio's broken up. Can't hear you. Can't hear you, Bill.
I must admit I wasn't talking. I was just on Facebook to see if bands spell.
Let me.
No, like some time ago when the idiot was when he snuck into the Philippines through Davao and suddenly arrived in Osmina Square or whatever. And he went into hospital and he was expecting me to go visit him. I didn't even know I didn't even know he was hospitalized.
Oh, well, that is the best thing ever, though. That I couldn't believe when that video came up.
Like he was
shirtless.
Yeah, he was chasing after Doc M, and he was expecting.
That'd be so funny if Doc M had come down, been there. He would have. Well, you wouldn't have seen a video because he'd been running away.
Yeah, he would have.
Oh, I thought that was hilarious. You know, the fact that he was expecting me to go up and visit him. I live at like Cebu. We have Cebu mainland here, right? And then we have Mactan Island. And I live on the far side of the island. I live in the Newtown area of the island. And he was expecting me to go up and visit him and serve him with some papers.
Yeah, I know where he got that from. I just don't know. It's all in his head, though, isn't it? There's a little fantasy world going on in his head.
Yeah.
You know, that we're all emailing each other secretly to get at him. When he said that. And then he said on the bit I posted today that Brian and Terence was frantically running back and forth because he got all these government agencies after them.
Mm-hmm.
2 years ago, near enough 3 years ago, and the agency's still not done anything.
No, they ain't gonna do nothing. Or else they would have done it, but now.
Doc says Mactan is huge, but it's a tiny little food. It really is a tiny little place. You can get round it in about half a day.
Well, you can get sometimes a taxi driver can take ages to find your hotel.
Yeah, I was exaggerating that a little bit.
That's
but,
what I landed.
You can actually take a jeepney. You can actually.
Well, I had a taxi guy drive around for ages,
Hmm.
saying he couldn't find my hotel, but it wasn't until I suddenly realised what he's just running the fare up. But then again,
Yeah, I
the
can
fare
understand.
is pence really compared to what you'd pay here.
Yeah, I agree, Doc. Yeah, it does take a little bit of time to get round. Um,
Yeah, I wouldn't ever want to drive to Cebu, that's for sure. They say Manila is worse. It's worse. I definitely
Yeah,
wouldn't want to
Manila
drive
was
there.
terrible.
Well, if
But
it's
I
worse than
know in
Cebu, I
Manila you have
definitely don't want.
different. I know in Manila, isn't there? They have different days when different vehicles can drive.
yeah. I did the old trip, to Cebu on the ferry boat. And that was something like you're completely isolated. There's no internet. There's no nothing. But it's a great, say, yeah, it takes 24 hours. It's a great 24-hour like relaxation retreat, you could call it,
Yeah,
away from, apart from the beggars apart from the beggars on the boat, you can't get away from those. Well, you land on, you land dockside and you have a lot of beggars. It's beggars on these professional beggars on the boat are a real annoyance, because they target the foreigner.
well, yeah, of course they're going to, aren't they? Well,
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, because like you're stuck with them, but also you have the trainee crew who they are they spend most of their time going around selling little pieces of shit, trinkets, of no value, which is part of their crew training. And just a little side note there, these crew members have to pay for their education, to become like to work on these cruise ships.
hmm.
Yeah, it's
Well, the first time
amazing.
I went to the Philippines, I landed in Manila,
Mm.
came out of the airport, and as I'm coming out of the airport, a security guard comes up to me and says, "Do you need any help?" And I said, "Well, no, I'm okay, really. I am looking for like to change some money." And he took me down to the one of the change bureaus just in the airport, and I changed some English pounds over. And he says, "Now we're
Mm.
friends. Do you want to give me some money?" So I gave him an English 50p. I said, "That's a
And
very special coin."
now, Bill, you just hit on a topic there. The English 50p had was it
Yeah,
octagonal coin? Now that
yeah,
once upon a time in the Phil, you could use that. It was worth about 10 pesos, and you could actually get it when I remember being in London like nigh on 40 odd years ago, and you use that 10 peso to get a bar of chocolate from in any of the underground machines that were operational at the time. Uh, It's yeah, that sticks in my mind. Yeah,
well,
it's an absolute fact.
when they brought the 50p out,
Yeah.
I think I was about 10, and I've got a younger brother, and he was sort of 8.5. I think about then. And my dad had been away. I think he'd been to see his sister in Southampton. He came back and he bought me and my brother a sort of a display set of all the coins from 1p up to £1.
Mhm.
So yeah, and they were like meant to be put away, sort of presentation. They're all in a nice plastic box and all laid out, and me and my brother just broke them open, went and spent it. Smashed the box open and just went and spent. He wasn't a happy chappy that day, my dad.
Talking about English money, I'm sure you must be familiar with the old coinage, or the slang for the jack, or what? No, it was the jacks. It was the cock and hen. It was the monkey. It was the score. So I think score was 20,
like a pony,
20,
and
wasn't it?
mainly Cockney slang that is.
At the pony, right? Yeah, exactly.
Pony was like, I think it might have been £200 or something like that. And a monkey was something, I don't know what that was.
Five, yeah, 500.
Not really used much these days now at all.
Right. No, it just takes me back a little bit, like talking about because I spent some time in London, like at college.
But you'd have been here before we went to decimalcation. So when we had pounds, shillings, and pence.
Yeah. You see, it was in 1972 that they decimalized, I think.
Yeah.
Because everybody was going into the European Union, and everything went from. I think it was 244 pennies to the pound. Would I be right?
Yes. Yeah.
And then it went down to 100 pence to decimalize everything. And like you lost, a lot of people were losing the 2 bob, the half crown, the tanner was a 6 pence.
Yeah.
And the threepence was 3 pennies. And then
so you'd have 20 shillings
to the pound.
Yeah. Well, 20 shillings was
Yeah,
240
a bob was
pennies.
a shit. Oh, 240. Oh, right. Okay.
240
yeah.
pennies to the pound, or to 20.
It was 240. I said 244 there for a minute.
Yeah.
I don't know why I came up with that one. Yeah, it was 240 to the pound, and then you had 9. I always remember, like, if I was down like Islington, and you'd see something written up for 19 pence and 19 and 6pence.
But we used to have
9.
So at the moment we've got 1 penny, 2 pennies, 5 pence, 10 pence, 20 pence, 50 pence, and a pound, and they're all coins. And then everything else is notes after that, even though there are some commemorative coins which are worth more. But we had half pennies.
Right, yeah.
We used to have half a pence.
Half a penny. Oh, no. Wait. Now, you've just rung a bell. The half a penny had a ship on it. Would I be wrong? Right? Wrong? Half a penny had a ship. I think it's had something to do with the clipper.
Up until
the
71.
T clipper.
Yeah. Up until 71, 72 when it changed, our coinage would have been done from the Norman conquest. So when the Normans invaded England, which was 1066.
Yeah. I can't remember
so
where
we had
I remember
pounds and pence.
I remember years and years ago, like the T clipper. Was that docked down? Is it still docked? I'm not sure. On the Isle of Dogs.
Yeah. It's yeah, it might have caught fire, but I don't know whether but it was down on the docks at some point. Down on the dogs, Isle of Dogs,
Was it?
and then we've got down there. We've got the golden
that
a
the-
replica of the Golden Hind, which sailed to America.
Oh, interesting. But that tea clipper was it docked on the Isle of Dogs?
I think so. Yeah, I've not been to seen it.
All right, okay. No, that's on one of my to-do lists. Oh, look at
Yeah,
we got
recently I went.
Cutty Shack. Is that?
The
I'm
Cutty
looking at
Sark is
Kiwi
the one
Top
that
Man
you'll
here. He
probably
says
think
the
of,
Cutty
yeah.
Shack. Is that the name of
Cutty
it?
Sark, which is the one that would do the
Oh,
India
Sark,
run.
yeah. And that was a tea clipper.
Yeah,
What meant? Yeah, right, okay.
and then we sort of, I think
Paul's
recently I went and did HMS Victory, which is the big naval boat, Nelson one.
Where's that parked?
That's Portsmouth. So that's like a big,
Oh,
what would
that's
have
right
been
down,
the equivalent
right
of
down the bottom. Yeah.
today's battleships.
Paul is talking about the farthing. Farthing was a quarter
Yeah,
penny,
that's it.
wasn't it?
Well, Robert will know because Robert, Robert's yeah, and a
Used to
quarter
be a
penny. Yeah,
farthing as well as
I
a
can
quarter.
just
Yeah,
remember
yeah.
it changing,
Mm.
but
Okay, like the comments are really stirring up some memory in me.
what's that? You white and black wool. What's that one?
You white and black's worldwide as foreign. We know. What is this all about? Eh?
I don't understand that.
No, me too. He's talking about black and whites here, and he's got a name that resembles something out of Hawaii, which recently had a disaster.
But that's better. Yeah, it come up closed before. I saw it as closed, but I don't know.
Okay, Kiwi says like it's in Greenwich. The
Cutty Sark. Yes, I think it is in Greenwich. The Isle of Dogs. That might be the Golden Hind replica.
Oh,
might be. I'm not sure. But you probably want to. Well, Robert, me too.
I am old Bill. Oh my goodness!
Oh, I am old, not a years old, Bill.
Oh fuck! I fucked up again.
Yeah, I think most of us are here. Oh, some of them are not as old as us, I don't think. There you are. Kiwi Top Man. So
yeah.
are you
Robert, I got mixed up there.
what Jeff would call a £10 pom?
Oh, I don't want to talk about that fucker. You never guess what, Bill. Earlier on today, you know, like the Vinny the Tough keeps talking about the Irish, right? And last night's chat brought in a comment from a lady called Irish, and I asked her about her name, and she said, I said, is that, I was trying to be, I didn't want to say someone bastardized the name Iris, as in the flower,
Yeah.
But I put it out to Vinny that if he could come across an Irish, a Filipino with a name Irish, that he would have to pay her to 20,000 peso. But he hasn't responded back to me. He also admits that he was in cahoots with the idiot in the early stages of his little enterprise. And he's now attacking me for whatever pleasure he gets out of it. I really don't know. You probably more than likely you've seen him in the comments, yeah?
Yeah.
Mm. But if he wants me to be transgender, I don't mind.
He likes a transgender, the casino
He
man.
has he does have a little fetish about them, especially our Lucy. She he was well, you saw the comments, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I saw some of the stuff he emailed her as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah. He is a vicious little man, and all he's got is words, nothing else.
Never mind. Let's change the topic, Bill. Are you cooking, Stacy? Now we're getting a little. The Kiwi top man here is looking a little bit aggravating. What does that mean? Are you cooking, Stacy, or is Stacy?
No, I just keep going to the door. The door's right here because my dogs, they keep going to the door every minute or two.
Kiwi, Stacy Dixon. Kiwi dogs can't make up their mind whether they stay in or out. Let's get back to the comments a little bit. Dampy. Being old beats any other choice they are given. Mature is a better word. From Robert. Are you cooking, Stacy? Kiwi dogs come and go. Kiwi, OIC. Oh my goodness. OIC. That's text.
Oh no, Kiwi. Yeah, on a school trip, I went on the Golden Hind. We went on. I think we went on the HMS Belfast. This is when I was at school. I had to go around the HMS Belfast, which is a Second World War warship. And then we crossed the Thames and went on the Golden Hind. And just before that was just before they sailed the Golden Hind to America, the replica. So a proper, well, it would have been a Tudor boat originally when it's first. I think it might have been Francis Drake's or one of those
I'm
guys.
lost here in the comments. St. Catherine's, Greenwich, you. Golden High's in Southend-on-Sea. Southend-on-Sea. Where's that? Southend. Southend. Is that Essex? I'm becoming a little bit disorientated. Essex. Yeah, Kiwi says like we're in Essex. Yeah, it's in Essex. Yeah. Yeah, I thought so. South End. What was it? That was where the Mods and Rockers used to hang out. Oh, was it Bristol? Yeah, it was. I think it was Bristol. The Mods. That, yeah, Bill. The Mods and the Rockers. Where would they? They used to have a go with the.
Brighton.
Oh, it's Brighton.
It would have been Brighton, the Mods and the Rockers, yeah.
Oh, great. Oh,
Well, my
shit.
brother was younger brother. He was a scooter boy.
Scooter, was he?
Yeah.
And yeah, were they the Mod? Were they all an in between the skinhead and what were the skinheads
Skinheads
back in
were
the day?
well,
They
it changed. First of all, the skinheads would have been like they were all into the Rasta music, but then it went into like the sort of
Johnny
what we
Rotten.
call the National Front, which is sort of the fascist. So it sort of changed. First of all, yeah. Well, my younger brother had a customised Lambretta, all painted up.
Lambretta. That was Italian, wasn't it?
But I was a motorbiker. I wasn't a rocker, but I was.
I was a jeepney driver. No, I was a tricycle driver.
But I was a punk rocker, so mine was a little bit.
So you were part of the Johnny Rotten people.
Yeah, I was part of that lot.
Oh, okay.
But
what was the other fucker's name? Skid Row. What's his doobie?
So yeah, Johnny Rotten, Sid Vicious.
Oh, Sid. Yeah, Sid Vicious. I was calling him Skid Row there for a minute. And that all happened around Chelsea, wasn't it? Like the King's Road.
Yeah, all around that way, Camden Lock and all like that, and you had
Camden was North London.
Yeah.
Like I'm talking about Chelsea, like on what names that come to mind at the moment is like the high street shops was John Lewis, and like Sloane Square, where you'd see these guys go out and they'd have these punk hairdos, and they'd charge the tourist to take pictures of them.
Well, that was, I can remember being up in London and going around, I was 17, 18, big purple Mohican, and having, it was a French woman that I don't know what she was. She was, I don't know if she was like a reporter or just a photographer, and she took my picture and all like that, or me and all my mates, because we had purple, orange. One of my friends, he had, his hair cut into question marks on the side of his head, and
Kiwi is just brought up another name, Carnaby Street.
Yeah.
So
that Carnaby Street is like a big.
That was a memory. That was a memory for me. Yeah.
Well, my sisters were older than me. And they were all up in Carnaby Street and all like that in the 60s and early 70s.
Yeah. Have you been down there? Like
not recently. I think last time, when was it? Just before lockdown, I was in Camden.
Don't say it. Don't say it. I've got an apartment there, don't you?
And just went down there as well. A friend, she wanted to go and see the Amy Whitehouse statue.
Amy, my goodness, yeah, that lady. That brings back another memory. What is the Griffin saying? She's saying Dimwit changed his name to Kiwi Tampon. Oh no, Top Man. I didn't say tampon. I said Top Man. Did Dimwit change his name? Sorry, Stacey. Like we're leaving you out of the conversation. I think it's mostly we're talking here kind of a strange language.
It's all right, Andy. I'm kind of interested in this.
It's an area like it's an area of town that I'm very, very familiar with. Even though I'm Irish, you know that, don't you?
Yeah. Well, the same as me, but I've got a yokel accent, a redneck accent.
Redneck. That's American, isn't it? Yeah. I think they call
Back
that
in
American.
in the early 80s, we CB radio took off.
Citizens Band Radio. I remember that.
And everybody,
I
and
had
it was
one
illegal
of those.
as well.
Yeah.
It wasn't a legal thing at the time.
Mm.
But where I lived at the time, it was called Hazard County. I can remember that on the CB.
Hazard County. That had something to do with some
Dukes of Hazzard.
dipstick. A dipstick or something.
Yeah.
It rings a bell. And I
But
know
yeah,
the car. I know
but
that
we
it was a red.
yeah,
It
it was
was
a
a red.
very big. Well, there was the what do you call it, the Convoy movie. And that's what all then CB radios took off over here.
Yeah.
And it was very big. Everybody had them in their cars and that, and lorry drivers obviously, and then they, like I said, it was illegal. The police could just arrest you or take them off you, but it was illegal to use them. But it wasn't illegal to buy them, which is always the thing in England. They're illegal, but you can buy them. But then the government legalized it, and it killed it straight away, overnight. As soon as it became legal, no one wanted to know.
Yeah, I remember it was. I remember something. That CB was Citizens Band, was it?
Yeah.
Yeah. My goodness. CB radio. Mostly truckers use that in America.
Well, you could. I know if you got up really early in the morning at like 1 a.m. here and you tuned the radio, you could pick up some of the American truckers talking. It'd be bouncing across the atmosphere.
Wow.
You couldn't talk back or anything, but you could just hear them. But yeah, it was, like I said, a big thing until they legalized it, and then it dropped right out.
Yeah, CBs are still going strong here. They're not quite as about like Andy said, only truckers use them now, but back in the 80s, 90s, everybody had them. But like I say, nobody even uses them now except truckers.
I'm going to take 5 minutes.
So I must have been. When did that come out? 13. When Convoy came out, and that was that who's the actor in that?
Chris
Christopherson. Yeah.
Yeah. Now that's when the CBs were really popular back then. That's how popular they was. But like I say, nobody even uses them. I had one in my pickup. What they call them is a linear. They're a box, gives them a little bit more boost. And my dad was dating a girl, and she was talking to somebody. I can't remember who on the telephone, the house phone. And I was talking to somebody, and it cut her off, cut her dead on the phone.
I had a motorbike with like a big fan, like a Honda Goldwing type thing, and I had a CB on that for a while, but never used to used to just park up and chat. But like I said, as soon as they legalized it, it just killed it.
That was weird.
Well, that's what I wondered, because over here, and I don't know about there, are these electric scooters, the stand-on ones?
Mm-hmm.
They're illegal. Well, again, you can buy them, but you can't ride them on the roads legally, and everybody's got them, and it's all over the place. I'm just waiting for all they need to do is legalize it, and it'll kill them.
Yeah. I had to go to the store. It's been 3 or 4 months ago, and there was this black guy. He was riding a bicycle that was battery operated, and he said that thing would go. What did he say? 30 miles an hour.
Yeah,
and that thing was pretty dang fast.
Well, you think? Well, in England, they're officially limited to 15 miles per hour on the throttle.
Yeah.
I think you could probably, with pedaling, you could probably pedal faster than that. But I know you can get ones that are incredibly fast. But the trouble is, if it depends what the brakes are. Like on a motorbike, the brakes are made for the motorbike, aren't they? They're made for the size of the engine. I wonder with some of these scooters, what sort of brakes they got on them.
Yeah. I know. Let me see. I think I've seen them little scooters that you stand on here. In fact, I don't think I see anybody ride them anymore. They used to ride them a little bit, but
here I think they're quite big. In London, you can rent them. That's the only legal way you can ride them, if you do them through the rent. They're like a city bike or a city scooter that you pay the company and you ride it, and that way. But a lot of people, they go and buy them. They're I think start about £500, the cheapest, a good one.
Bill.
But I've been thinking about getting myself an electric push bike.
Bill.
No,
can you hear me? Bill, can you hear me?
Yeah.
All right. I wanted to ask you about these electric things. I've seen a unicycle.
Yes, I've seen it.
An electric unicycle. Have you seen one of those?
Yeah.
My goodness, that is.
They're quite fast as well.
That is exactly. And I'm just wondering if they're ever going to.
It is youngsters, and I don't want to knock youngsters because I don't believe everything that says. It is they've got no insurance. If you're in a car and you hit somebody, you're covered. The insurance covers them, and stuff like that. Where
Yeah.
But
they come out of nowhere, and they're
when they're silent as well. That's the trouble.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's different. In America, there's a lot more room. England, as you know, go around London, and some of the roads and what the Americans call a sidewalk are tiny, aren't they? There's hardly any room for one person to walk, let alone somebody on a scooter.
Yeah, that's about right. Yeah. Well, right here where I live, about 1 or 2 people on a sidewalk here. That's about it. And if you see somebody on a bicycle, either they got to stop or you got to get out of their way. Yeah, it's just our sidewalks about like London, very narrow.
Talking about sidewalks, and there's a lot of sidewalks here that are not sidewalks because you'll come across, you'll be on, say, a commercial street, and the sidewalk is full of steps.
Yes. I've noticed that. It's
with you probably get a great big sewer pipe coming out or like a water pipe. Good.
Well,
It's
in England, it's very strict on what can be on the pavement. A shop can't just put stuff outside. That the council asks them to move it. Everything has to be. And we do pay a lot of taxes for this to be done as well. So a lot of the time, if anything's that's faulty, I've been in the Philippines, and you just got to watch your steps sometimes, haven't you? You got to just keep an eye on what's on.
Yeah, I mean, there is a sidewalk, but it's not a sidewalk. It's just the side of the road that's been fucked up. Whoever owns the property in front of that piece of sidewalk, they do what they want with it. It's
Well,
not
the local town
it's
near
not an
me,
organ. It's complete chaos. If we're talking about a sidewalk here, it's
well, the local town by me, after 10 o'clock, you can't go through the main street. It becomes the whole street becomes pedestrianised.
Where's that?
From 10 till 5, where you would drive through, big bollards come out of the ground and block the roads off. So it's all pedestrianised, and you can only drive round the outskirts of it and park and walk in.
Okay.
So, it's sort of stuff like that. Most lot of places are coming like that now.
That reminds me of what Phil in the Philippines, is talking about. Like he does a lot of stuff about like Walking Street, and it ain't Walking Street because it's full of fucking traffic.
I wonder if you think Lucy Ducey there, because Jeff did say that Lucy was in Angela City.
She was she was a Russian person, a trafficker to the Philippines. Yeah, where it's a poor country and they're not going to get any money to sell her. Not whether
I got a question.
The west.
I got a question from Road Dog. He's asking, do I stay in Leyte? Now, Leyte, the part of Leyte I stay in, and I'm living on the side of a mountain sometimes on the weekends. And the name of the area is called Cananga. Now, if you're familiar with Leyte, Cananga is about 40K from Ormoc. And Ormoc would be the port town of where we ship in from Mactan. Would that answer the question, Road Dog? I don't permanently stay in Leyte. I stay here for holiday purposes. Anyway, that going over to Steve. Steve says, I'll stop teasing you, Jeff. I'm sorry. Is Jeff here? Is Jeff in the house?
Got upset with Van, and he's had a big box of wine. And he's led out in his garage next to his 2 cars.
Stacy is responding. He says, wants a good pounding. Jeff is a troll. He leaves you under a bridge on Mactan. Lives under a bridge. Are we talking a troll? Now we know what a troll is.
Yeah, he likes a billy goat.
It looks like my internet is stabilized.
Yeah, maybe just need to be on it. Needs to warm up
I just
like the old TVs.
I just need to punch the roof a little bit, juggle that dish around a bit.
You just need the missus out there turning it round, holding it up.
Oh, all my people here have all gone to bed. Way past the.
Well, that's the thing I did notice in the Philippines. They all go to bed early.
Yep, and they all get up early.
Well, I'm totally different. I'm a nocturnal person when it comes. If I'm not doing anything the next day, I'll stay up most of the night.
I like the weekends here. I like what I do over the weekends. Do a little bit of work, get some exercise in.
I haven't got laundry facilities in the house at the moment, so I'm going to the town to use the laundrette.
Oh.
But that's you know what? That is amazing.
That is another point, Bill, because women here they hand wash.
Yeah.
It's and there's a washing machine just over the road. Well, when I say over the road, it's just like not a couple of rooms away from me. There's a washing machine, but they still get out and hand wash. Amazing.
Well, the one I went to today, it's all modern. It's like it took an hour, washed and dry, all for an hour for under £10.
Okay.
All done in half an hour. Well, in an hour. So half hour for wash and half hour for dry. Big commercial dryers and that. So I don't know whether I will set up laundry facilities here. Because it's so much easier to go in, bung it in. I can sit in the car on the Wi-Fi. Even though my sister, she like I said, she lives in Houston, and this is where you can't take. You can take the girl out of England, but you can't take English out of the girl. Where she lives, in the place where you're not allowed to hang your washing outside to dry. For some reason, in the city ordinance or the local ordinance where she bought like one of those collapsible, what we call a clothes horse.
A clothes horse.
So you can put your clothes on. So she hides that around the back. She hides that around the back of her house so she can put her stuff out to dry in the sun. But that's an English girl all over. Here, if it's sunny, you get your washing out. Because it airs it and everything. If you dry it outside.
Yeah, it won't take long to dry nothing out here. Not here. Well, here in Texas, because it's hot.
Yeah.
You better off to take them outside. To turn that dryer on, makes it even hotter.
Yeah, and I think most Americans have got what we would call an industrial dryer and washer.
Yeah.
Where in England you have a very small dryer. Most houses only have a basic dryer, and it takes hours to dry.
Road Dog says he's familiar with the fast ferry from Ormoc. So, yep. And I'm a frequent visitor there at Port Town, Ormoc. Road Dog says he likes Leahy and so. Actually, Samar, they speak a different language there. So if you said Siggy Siggy in Samar, they wouldn't know what the fuck you're talking about.
Well, like most people do now when he says it. Because he hasn't got any Filipino viewers. I mean, he might have one, somebody that he hangs on, and that girl that done the website for him, which he's got his racist and his very suspect little girls dancing videos on.
Oh my goodness, Dan. Road Dog is bringing up memories here. Recent memories.
So I've only been to Bohol once. And when did I go? Went from obviously Mactan on the fast ferry to
No, what Road Dog is talking about is Lady is north, or Samar is north of Lady. But anyway, Bill, carry on.
So, and I went to from the what's the big port where the airport is on Bohol?
I don't know. I've never flown there.
Yeah. So the main one, the main city, and I went from there to Andes White Beach, Andes, which is I think near Bryan, I think, or down the bottom.
Andes White Beach.
Let me see if I can find.
I'm not really savvy about Bohol. No. Well, I'm almost tempted to go over there to Bryan.
Andy, I wish you would have went there before Brown made his channel members only. That would have set Jerf and them off.
No, but I could arrange my own channel.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's true, Andy. I forgot about you having. Yeah, that's right. You can.
I can accommodate Brian.
Yeah,
but I won't be doing one of those Beavis sneak in behind the door type of interviews with Brian.
Yeah.
You know what that fucking coward did? He went in, he snuffed around, and he absolutely the shock of it. It's amazing what people will do, and the lengths
I know.
that
He's a
they'll
very
go to.
sneaky. I've noticed all his videos that he puts the camera on himself and he's got this little smug look on his face, oh, I'm on camera type thing. He's got a punchable face. And he can't take it out often because I'm sure people just want to punch him.
Steve, so with the Brian Smith International Airport, dang, yeah. Brian is big dog.
Ando White Beach Resort. Okay, I don't do resorts.
So that was quite a nice resort.
I don't do that. I don't do resorts. Period.
All right, Jeff. He says he doesn't do resorts. He stays in the barrio, and there's a picture of him at a resort. He's just a fucking idiot. It's unbelievable.
Every time he lie, or let me see how I want to say. Every time he says something, he contradicts himself. He always gets called out on a lie every time.
Yeah. Oh, interesting. we still got Duck in the house.
Doc's
Dan
been
P.
quiet.
Hmm?
I said, Doc's been quiet. He must have went to bed.
I don't know where he's living. Dampy, the tubes had to warm up. Does that mean we're on radio rentals here? Do you remember that, Bill?
What?
Radio rentals, where you put a shilling in the telly
Yes.
to. Oh my God! Fuck me! I thought I was. Well, my goodness. You remember the day, you remember the putting a shilling in the telly to get it to work.
Yeah. Well, that's most of us. I mean, we didn't have a colour TV for God the 80s here, and the only reason we had a colour TV is because my oldest brother was in the army.
Steve or Stacy, did America ever have a slot machine TV?
Slot machine TV.
Yeah.
So to watch
like,
it, you have to put money in it.
Oh,
A bit like Dawn said, you know, in the motels where they have the vibrating bed, and you put coins in it to vibrate.
you know,
A bit
I
like
could
that.
be wrong. I could be wrong, but there seemed like there was something you have to put money in a motel or something. I can't remember.
I'm not talking about motels. I'm talking about like these. It was a company called Radio Rentals here.
Radio Rentals, yeah.
Radio Rentals was in London. Well, it was in England, and you had to put money in the telly to.
For those who couldn't afford to buy a TV outright, you basically rented this TV, and then to pay for it, rather than giving them money each week, you put money in the back of it and like turn the knob, and it would come on for so many minutes, depending on how much money you put in it.
Now we used to have payphones here. You have to go to town.
Yeah.
But man, y'all got me curious on TVs now. Seems like I've heard of that.
Jeff,
I could be wrong.
While he was in the Philippines, he had something like Radio Rentals, but Ladyboy Rentals. He used to put the money in them, and they would go for so long.
That's it.
But we're talking about like you've got Uber Eats and Deliveroo and all that for food today.
Yeah.
You know, you got your Domino's delivery and that. In England in the 70s, if you wanted like a takeaway, so you wanted like an Indian or a Chinese takeaway, you used to phone up the local taxi driver to go and get you a Chinese, and then you'd pay his fare and the money for the Chinese. So the taxi driver would just come out with a takeaway.
Oh.
Yeah,
this is hilarious.
They got them. What do they call them here? Sort of like in the Philippines, Grab, but DoorDash. They got that here now. You just call them and say whatever you want. But I don't ever use them. I mean, they wouldn't even come out here anyway. We don't have that in my area.
Oh, I haven't tried it here. I have got somebody that would do that here.
Domino's Pizza delivers within 30 minutes or something, or you get it free.
Yeah.
So they wouldn't venture down your lane, would they?
No, they would. If I ordered the Domino's pizza right now, I'd get it free every time because I think the closest one is 45 minutes away. closest.
Oh God. Oh my goodness.
Whatever quaint things we have. I mean, in England, up until about the late 70s, everything like the shops would shut at 5.
Mm.
They wouldn't be open on Sunday. Most places, Wednesday was a half day closing. So most places would close at 12 or 1 on a Wednesday.
Dang. Yeah,
And
we used to
even
have.
today, the shops are allowed open on a Sunday, but they're only allowed open between 10 a.m. and 4 p.m. and then they have to shut.
Dang. See, I remember the late 70s, very early 80s. You know what they call the sorry stores in the Philippines. We had little stores around here like that. What we call them mom and pops
Yeah.
stores.
we call them Sari here.
Yeah.
Sorry. Siggy.
But there was actually one of them little mom and pop stores. If I got in a car right now, it would be about 3 minutes away. Then I had some people to tell me there was another store. It would be about 5 or 6 minutes away. So there was one about each way of me, but they done closed it down. You don't, but we got places like Walmart and all that now. We don't have many mom and pop stores anymore. If we got any left.
But yeah, well, that's the trouble with the big supermarket. People just can drive and go and get big shops and stuff like that. It's very rare. There were a couple I've spotted. There's one in a little village near me. There's a shop, but a lot of the stuff in there is very dear. For them to make any money, they have to charge more.
Yeah. Well, see, the town I live in, man, when I was younger, there was 1, 2, 3 little grocery stores here. And there was 1, 2, 3 service stations, a barber.
We got a new commenter here. Says his name is Salik. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. And he wants us to wish him happy birthday. So, panel, all together now. Happy birthday to you.
Yeah, that's true, crazy. Yeah, that COVID hurt a lot of things.
Go Dog's partner is from Samar. Happy birthday, Pumpole. COVID-19 shut down a lot of mom and pa stores. Oh, yep, I'll agree with that. That's from Crazy Saiyan Goku. Good.
Yeah, she was telling me, I was talking to her, it's been a few months ago. They had a little sorry store, not too far. It was about a 2-minute walk from her dad's house, and there was a couple of old people. And I guess the old lady got the COVID, and she didn't make it. And the old man, he shut it down.
I think we all got shut down in 20.
Well, like I said before, I did quite well in COVID. I did all the stickers for the floors, the windows, keep your distance, all those type of things, masks, be warm. I was quite lucky that way, and I did loads of perspex screens for offices and stores and stuff like that. So, I mean, for me, yeah, I did quite well. It didn't affect me.
Yeah, I said you probably done pretty good back then, didn't you, Bill? doing
Yeah,
stuff like that.
stores. I had I did some jet wash onto pavements. You know, made like a stencil saying "keep your distance," and went around all the pavements here and jet washed it into the pavement.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. So, and like loads of stickers for floors and doors and stuff. I actually run out of material because I couldn't get material in the end.
Dang. Yeah, I
Because
know. I've seen them.
all the stuff's made in Europe, and Europe was shut down. So,
Dang. Yeah, I know. I seen a lot of them stay back 6 feet. I seen a lot of them in stores. But every store I walked in, but they don't have them no more.
no. But I saw some people were charging. I had customers tell me, "Oh, somebody quoted us for a perspex screen to go on their till. What was it? £1,200, so probably about $1,500 for a bit of perspex that cost about 20.
Dang.
You know, I know some people were trying to make a fortune out of it.
Oh yeah. Oh
So
yeah. There's
all I
always
do is charge them. What I normally do, I always put, if I buy goods in, I put 60% on top of that,
yeah.
and then just charge for my labor. You know, and you make enough money. But some people are greedy, though, aren't they? They're just
Yeah. Let me see how. That's been a few years ago. My dad was doing a job for a black lady one time, and I think she was trying to clean up her lot, and somebody wanted her to pay half, then the other half when they got through. And I think she said they never came back when they got their money. I think she said they never came back. I said my dad never does that. My dad don't ever charge until he gets through. So she got
my way
scammed.
of doing, if somebody wants something, somebody that if I get an inquiry for somebody that I've not dealt with before, I tend to make them pay for the materials up front.
Yeah.
So if anything, if they don't, if they don't pay the full bill, I'm only out of my labour, which I can take a hit on. But if I can't afford to, if any, depending on what it is, they just pay for the materials, and then I'm not out of pocket if they do. I've only lost my time, really.
Yeah.
But touch wood, I've never really had anybody not pay.
I think my brother, let me see, he was digging for somebody, or somebody had a track hole and they couldn't dig or something. I can't remember what it was. And I think he tried to take him to court, but I don't know if they paid him or not. And my neighbor here, he was having a little bit of financial problem for certain things. And I think it took him 3 years to pay. And he's never had any problems paying. But let me see what else. I was going to say something else. I forgot what I was going to say. But yeah, he always paid his bills when my dad done work for him. But these last couple of years, oh yeah, my boss, he was farming some of his ground, and he let it go back last year. And my boss had to pay his landlord's fertilizer bill year before last. So he just got tired of it, and he just moved on, got farming.
It is, just sometimes it's a bit of. I've had turn work down when I think. Sometimes you feel a bit suspect about people, and I said that I'm too busy.
Yeah,
I haven't got any free time to do anything, but I mean, it's okay. I can pick and choose when and what I want to do. Mainly, I've got a few. Well, I used to have a client years ago that was part of Cooper and Lybrand, which are like a financial businesses, and the work I used to get off them was amazing. They'd actually call me up, and could I go up to one of their London offices and hang a picture for them? And they would
Dang.
pay me really stupid to do it, because that's it. They just got it done. A lot of their stuff was all the same. I used to get it stainless steel signs done like 4 or 5 at a time, and they would just call me up, got a new office, straight there and do one. But that's when the financial houses was loads of money, when they were just making a hand over fist. It's a bit different these days now. Then they can't do what the bank's done or used to do.
But yeah, my boss, he's farmed that ground his dad farmed it for many years. Then he retired. Then my boss took it over, and he's farmed it for 15 years, 20 years, something like that, when his dad retired. And he made him bukus of money because his land was paid for. Everything he's got I'm talking about my neighbor here. Everything he's got is paid for. He was debt free. Then he got into a little bit of financial situation on other things. And so my brother done some digging for him. He wasn't ever paying, but I think he finally paid him this year, because he made some money this year because the prices on the crops were up this year. And he was saying he took out a loan on his farm. I'm not going to say what it was for, but it had an old raggedy house on it, but it was about to fall in. And he said before he could get a loan, he had to put insurance on that house. And he told my brother to go tear that house down. That was kind of stupid.
Stacy.
Yeah, Andy.
What's your plan for this country?
Well, I was talking to her the other day, and I was going to come there this year, but she's got something going on. I'm not going to say what it is right now because of the trolls, and I'm not going to come in this year because of something I wanted to do when I come there, and I don't know if it'll happen, but I told her I wanted to go to Thailand when I come back, go there for a couple of days. She said she can't do it this year. So I just told her I'm just going to wait until next year. I was going to come there this year, but of something she's got going on, she's going to be busy. And I just said I'm just going to wait until next year.
Okay. No,
But like I say, I don't want to say it.
Yeah, I just wondered if you was interested in having a beer with me. And there's another point to it, is depends on what part of the field you're coming to.
Well, Andy, when I do,
I'm embedded here, so this is where I am. This is where I will be, hopefully until I'm trying to make my exit into Europe. I'm trying to find my way into Europe.
Yeah.
You probably know that already.
Yeah, I heard you mention it. But yeah, if I was going to come in, I'd like to meet you in person. Because didn't you say you was going to try to move to Europe? Was that your plan?
Yeah, well, you see, like last year, I was supposed to hook up with Bill, and a little bit of an upset there, and I was researching some of the projects I was doing at the time, and it's becoming more fruitful now for me to make the venture out and get away from the Philippines. I need to find my way into Europe because it's not friggin' easy.
Yeah.
Especially like with the English situation and bringing a foreign wife who lives outside the EC. No, hang on, EEC, which is the Economic European Community area. It's something to do with the EU, which is the European Union.
Yeah.
Which are I'm finding it difficult to find an exit path for my. I could quite easily go through, get in, but I can't bring my family with me, and that's the little handicap I have at the moment.
Yeah. Well,
because I haven't been, although I lived there for quite some time, I don't have access there. I don't have what they call it's called habitual residence. So I've never been habitually resident.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to overcome that. And I've found there's another way to go through, get into Europe or get back into Britain, I should say, with my family. Is it's what was it? Oh my goodness, it just doesn't come to mind at the moment. But it was an Indian guy that found his way back into Britain through the European Union. But because now Britain is not part of the European Union, that
I don't think you can do it that way anymore.
That door is closed. Yeah, you're right, Bill.
I think I'm not sure. I think as an English person, if you marry a non-English, when we were in non-European citizen,
and they also have to pass an English language test.
Yeah, and plus,
you know
I think
that.
the person that is English, whether it's a man or a woman, has to earn a certain amount above a certain amount a year.
Yeah, X amount of money a year. Yeah,
because there was a young, well, not a young doctor, a doctor lady. She had worked. She was English, and she did Doctors Without Borders thing in South America. Met her husband, married him. She came back, and she tried to get him into the country with their daughter, and couldn't do it because she'd been out of the country so long. Her wage was less than whatever the limit was.
The requirement was, yeah.
But he was a doctor as well.
This is quite a challenge. Oh yeah, I know where you're going with that, Bill.
But I know they were doing a big recruitment on Filipino nurses because we're not got any of the European nurses anymore. Because we the racist lot in England have stopped that.
Yeah, it's yeah. My partner, she's not in the medical field, and she doesn't qualify. Doesn't qualify for any of the recruitment agencies. We've been down that road. It is quite a challenge. So I have to try and establish myself as a businessman again, and register with
I think it's a bit different. If you set up a business here, it might be. I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't know whether that would make it easier or not. Or you just have to show that you can support yourself and your family without the government stepping in.
Mm, yeah,
That's all they're worried
and
about.
that's proving to be quite a challenge for me at the moment because I wanted to liquidate my business here and move it across to Europe, but it's not looking good. Let's put it that way. Simply, I'm tired of I'm actually tired of living here.
Well, since I've been where I am, I've met this what would be my neighbour. They're not, even though they're not. You know, you can't see his house from where I am. He's South African,
Uh-huh.
and he's moved into England. Him, his wife, and I think his daughter and her boyfriend
Hmm.
have come here, and they were telling me, it just shows you why. I can understand why people want to come here. He's saying, like, when they're back, they're teenagers, the girl, so I think that she's 18 and her boyfriend's 19, that they can't go out at night in South Africa
Oh, okay.
because it's not safe. You know,
Yeah.
and they because when they were first here, they were texting their friends back then saying, "Oh, what are you doing?" They said, "Oh, we're going out for night." I said, "What do you mean going out? You can't go out." I said, "Yeah, in England, you can safely walk the streets at night,
Mm.
where South Africa is a bit."
Yeah. Yep. 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 South Africa is like a
And I
sea.
quite understand why people want to come. Some of the countries that they're coming from, they're even, and they keep on going, "Oh, well, you can get the gold, it's gold in the streets." There's not, but what there is safety.
Mm.
You're not going to get shot. You're not going to get,
Yeah.
And the same applies here. We're not going to get shot here.
Hmm.
It's just a case of overcoming this little visa application. I've got one more application I can make, and then I'm completely knackered, you might say, or in Vincent Tuft's language, cream crackered, as in knackered.
Yeah, there's a couple of boys that works with us. They're from South Africa, and they're amazed how we can just leave our vehicles running. Nobody, I mean, of course, people still going to steal here, but like around where I live, we just leave our vehicles running, leave our wallets in our vehicles. And he said, you can't do that in South Africa. He said, when you get out of your vehicle, you got to lock them. He said, they'll even steal your grill, where you grill your meat. He said, they'll steal everything over there.
Well, yeah, and they're very, it's and I think this guy, I mean, I think he was a policeman from what I can gather at some point out there, but he can do his work, whatever he's into now. I think it might be exports and imports, and he can do that from here on the computer, and and be safer.
Yeah.
Let's go back to the comments. Kenny T is leaving Davo and flying back to the UK. No, I think we've lost a lot of people, have we?
Yeah, well, I'm going to shoot off because it's 5 o'clock in the afternoon here, and I'm going to get my tea.
That's great.
And,
listen, Bill, thanks a lot, mate, for switching roles here. I'd like to be able to keep this Sunday chat going.
Yeah, well, I think if
Gary's
if Gary's about to do it, then that's great. And if not, just hopefully get Van on next time.
Yeah. Well, if any way possible, if Gary can't do it, let's try to do it the same time Gary does it. maybe we can get
Yeah.
more people in here.
Yeah, I think
Because-
that's kind of that's favorite with me because I've got the time
Yeah.
on Sunday evenings.
Well, yeah, and plus what we do now, I got Gary on Facebook and always message him, say, "Are you going to be about this?" And then maybe put if he's not, put a notice up so people know.
Mhm.
Because I
Yeah,
don't know if everybody's got us down as to be notified if we're on.
we don't want to give any bragging rights to the casino idiot that we're all talking about him.
I might put him into he wants so he can come notify him so he can come along.
There you go, Bill.
But all right, and thanks everybody in the comments for coming in,
Well done,
and
Bill.
thanks
a lot,
Andy and Stacey, and I'll shoot off and get my tea in me.
Yeah, I think I'm finna
Yeah.
cook me something for lunch and mess around.
Good
All
on
right,
you.
take care, everybody.
All right, Bill, Andy, everybody in the chat, y'all have a good one, and maybe we'll do this again next weekend. So I figure, well, Sunday.